What's up, everybody? Brian here with a very special episode of Fishing Control. We're out here today near Tybee Island. We're on Whitmarsh Island, very close to Tybee. We're at the Walmart that is closest to Tybee. I'm gonna play it like I'm starting from scratch. I'm out here on the island, here for vacation. I need some stuff. So we're going to gather up and I'm going to try to keep it on as low a budget as possible. That's the trick. I'm going to get one of those kits and show you a couple extra things you can get to maximize your success with a very minimal budget, trying to surf fish the beach on a vacation here at Tybee, or really anywhere that you're fishing a sandy beach, especially the southeast coast or the Gulf Coast. These techniques will likely work the Northeast, the West Coast, Texas, anywhere that there's fish that feed on whiting and stuff like that, fish that feed on shrimp, fish that feed on shrimp and stuff like that in the surf. Basically, these methods will work. Similar methods will work just about anywhere. So as long as you're fishing a sandy bottom or near a sandy bottom. Sounds like a band. So let's get into Walmart and I'll show you what I'm looking at.
Over 7 to 8 in Bentonville, Arkansas. But before
So this is not a super Walmart, so you'll have to be willing to make some sacrifices. But so you would think I'd be starting off with a rod and reel combo, but we're going to start off with some sort of bag to hold bait and our stuff, which is not going to be a whole lot of stuff, but a little bit. Alright, so we're trying to keep our budget low, so we're going with this dude for $8. How you doing? It's got this extra pocket on top. Let's look at some of our options here. We got the Shakespeare what the hells tigers that come with this little kit, and they're pre-spooled. Most of these kits are going to be pre-spooled. This kit is $33. Is there a cheaper one? Or a better kit? Look at this kit. This comes with all kinds of malarkey. Some giant freaking hooks. How much are you? I don't know how much you are. $55. That's more expensive. We don't want to spend more. We want to spend less. So far, this guy might be our winner because it comes with a kit. Look at that stuff. That's not bad stuff. I don't know if I could catch anything off of the rig as is, but I could definitely make a better rig out of the stuff that's here, and that's one of the things we're probably going to do here. Let's look over here. But I think that's probably our winner. Some 20 pound. Little spool of 20 pound. Fluorocarbon.
Business and automotive customer needs business and automotive.
Some hooks. And so I got a couple sinkers, some hooks, some fluorocarbon. But this is a hard decision because I have the fleet and the shrimp in stock. I'm gonna get the shrimp. Some Fishbites. These and these are the jam here. So I haven't had the pink fish shrimp in a while. We're gonna use that. And hate to say it, but I guess we're gonna go. What's the length on this rod? It's a 9 foot. Okay. Is this one of them put together? No, that's a different one. Here's one that's already broken apart, so I can see how long it is. Oh shit, that's not even the right. Are these even the right? Okay. Let's see. Let's check the action on this sucker. I don't see anything that could possibly go wrong. One from the middle. This one messed with the least. And let's see if we got a rod holder over here. Or somewhere. Somewhere over here. No. There we go. A couple of extra leaders. These will work as they are. These are actually better leaders than the ones that are in the pack. And they're cheap. They're $1 or so a pack. And then after you use them once, or even right away, just cut them up and reuse these floats. I've got hooks that I'm going to reuse, so we can make some new leaders out of these leaders with that fluorocarbon that I got. And then a pack of 3-ounce pyramid sinkers. I got a couple of 4-ounce Sputniks in case it's really rough, but these are going to be what we really want to use, is these 3-ounce pyramids. Okay, so I was about to check out and we noticed that the tip on that thing was broken, so give these suckers a thorough inspection before you walk out the door with it. I'm gonna go over here and grab another one. There was actually a cheaper option, but it didn't have a kit with it. And I want to try and do one that's got the whole ass kit, you know? There we go. This one looks unfondled. Sure. Alright guys, there it is, Shakespeare Tiger combo. We are going to try one of these leaders out straight out of the box. We're going to just see if that right there with some shrimp out of this cooler will catch what we need. So I'll show you how I tie this up. Alright, well let's start off by taking some of these tags and stuff off of here. I did bring a couple of extra things with me that I didn't go over at Walmart, and we'll talk about that as we go here. But essentially it's something to cut line and fish bites with, so like a knife. You can tear shrimp. I like to cut it, but you can tear shrimp, so that's not that big a deal. And also something to remove hooks from things like sharks and stingrays. And I'll show you what I use. It's in this bag here. I also went back in and bought the cheapest rod holder they've got, which was like $2. I'll show you that thing here in a second. trying to make sure I don't lose any trash out here on the beach. Alright, that little kid will be fine. Let's see here. You'll want to loosen this guy. All very plastic. And that lets you straighten that guy out, and then you tighten it back down on this side. Boom. And there's some plastic here covering the line. Look, it says it comes with 17 pound. That's an adequate amount. I usually, if I'm using mono, which I haven't in a really long time, I use 15. 17 is fine. Here, I'll show you the rod holder now. This is a good time to put the rod holder out. These are the extra things I brought. Hook remover tool. You get a stingray or a shark, you want some distance between your hand and it. So you can get one of these out here on the island. Shoes sells one. We're on Tybee Island right now, by the way, in Georgia. Shoes sells one of these. That's the convenience store on the island when you first come on the island, but it's like 20 bucks there. So this is a thing that you should try and order in advance if you can. They're like $6 on the internet, and there's none better in my opinion. You can really get a good grip on a hook or whatever you need to do. You can use it to move stingrays and catfish around. Really good device. And I brought a knife like this. You can cut everything with this. Fishing line, shrimp, fish bites, whatever you need to whack up, do it with that. And here's the rod holder we brought, which is not good, but it will do the job. More than anything, I want it to hold the rod while I'm rigging it up. And it'll do that, sort of. You can use the rod to push it the rest of the way in the sand too. It's rod holding. It's not good. It is adequate. And it does hold on to the bottom of the rod. So that'll be a thing at some point, probably. Okay, let's string this sucker up. It's held into the... Okay, now that we've got the rod strung up, come up here, give myself a nice clean end, and we're going to look at these leaders. These hooks are ridiculous. we're gonna fish with one of these. We're gonna try it. But okay, the hooks are oversized and the wrong kind. The leader material is not bad. It doesn't have a bunch of extra hardware on it, like crimps and stuff, so that's not terrible. And honestly, these hooks aren't tied, so we might change out the hooks in a moment as well. We're gonna try this just as is, I think, to get started. Honestly, I thought I was gonna not be too thrilled with this rig, but because normally there would be a bunch of like crimps and stuff off the pre-made ones you buy at the bait shops or whatever. This one's not bad, believe it or not. We're gonna put some trust in it. What we're doing here, we're gonna take the end of the line, we're gonna tie a Palomar knot. You can look up info about this knot. It's a very secure and easy to tie knot. You go through and then back through. And when you get to this point, grab your tag end. I've made a loop here, making the loop bigger so that I can take both tag end and the main line and my loop and tie an overhand knot. Take the loop that I've made here pass the leader through it. So you just grabbed the leader and I'm pulling it up through. Now, pull some tension down, and before I get it all the way tight, I want to pull both ends to make sure they come down nice and even. And when I get just before I tighten it all the way down, wet it, then cinch it, and it'll go all the way tight. Then come over here, grab my knife or scissors or whatever I've brought with me, in this case a knife, and wiggle off my tag end. Then take my tag end and throw it away. Don't let it blow off into the distance. So now there's a weight in this kit. We're going to try it too. Yeah. Now this kit wants to blow away, so we're going to close all this up. And we're going to put our weight on. This is an interesting clip. I haven't seen one of these. Not mad at it. There we go. We're clipped on. Closed up. Now let's bait up these hooks. I've got some Fishbites I'm going to put on here. So when they come in this, any size really, but you might get these and think, oh, I'll just put this on a hook, just like that. That's too much. You don't need to put that much on at a time. And in fact, you can get a good 3 or 4 baits out of one of these guys right here. We're gonna make, I think, 3 out of this one. Yeah. So this is Fishbites going on. This is the pink shrimp Fishbites. This hook is ginormous. We are almost definitely going to change out these hooks because that's fucking ridiculous. And let's pull out some shrimp. Oh, also, we're going to save these shells because we're going to go catch minnows later. And here we go. Rig up the shrimp. Don't need too big of a piece of shrimp either. Fellows down the beach for me haven't caught anything yet. They are subscribers, so hopefully they catch something. And I'm probably gonna have to make a trip to the car soon because I forgot my spare battery. I've not fished with monofilament or a non-pin reel in a really long time, guys. So this is weird for me. bird. No, I didn't. I thought I winged a bird there. So this here is a Sea Striker spot whiting pompano rig, which I'm not really a fan of the way these are put together, but I am a fan of these floats and black hardware. So while I have used these with somewhat success on their own, I've used them with great success by chopping them apart. So that's what I'm going to do here. I've tied a double drop rig with 20-pound fluoro, and I'm going to cut this apart, steal the floats, and steal the snap for the weight and the swivel for the top. Okay, so I've tied up the other rig here, starting with the black swivel at the top. First loop has one of those floats on it and a 2/0 circle to sea on it with a small piece of pink shrimp fish bites and a piece of shrimp. Then nice distance down here, about 18 inches or so to the same setup, and then about another 10 to 12 inches, about a foot or so down to that clip at the bottom. And I bought a couple of 4-ounce Sputniks so I could give it maybe a little more chunk out there, a little more of a toss out there, and so it'll set nice and straight. I want it to sit straighter than these pyramids do. So let's tighten down our drag. That's the first thing you want to do before you cast, so you don't cut your finger. If you don't tighten down the drag, that weight will pull line out as you cast and it'll cut your finger. All right, so tighten it down nice and tight. Then I like to put my line up so I can grab it with my finger. Make sure the bail's open. Again, good and tight. Bail open. If you don't open the bail, everything will snap off when you go to cast. And flick it nice and good. I think that should be about on the top of the next sandbar. There's so much twist in this line and line memory in this line. Nice. Nice, some fish are coming through. The other guy's got a good one there. So I think it was the right time to switch up to a better rig. I have more faith in a rig like this. And we're gonna sit down and wait. Oh goodness. We're gonna move some stuff out of my way and then we're gonna sit down and wait. There's a fish on. Got the drag on this thing. What do we got? So, school of hardheads moving through, but at least we caught a fish. They caught one right before me, so that makes sense. Yeah. How you doing? Okay, come here, buddy. There we go. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Seen one of those?
What is that?
That is a gaff topsail catfish.
I've been thinking it looked like a catfish.
Yeah. So these around here have these wicked sharp spines.
Oh, wow.
Those are full of venom.
Nice.
Yeah, they got them here too. So you gotta be really careful with these suckers.
Oh, yeah, I was looking, I was like, that looks like a cat.
Yep. These are actually pretty good eating here though. If you get good sized ones, they make, just chop them into nuggets and fry them up.
Nice. Yeah.
So there we go. gaff topsail catfish, so at least we are not skunked, I guess. Alright, so I waited out a fair bit for that one. We'll do the same again. We're going to tighten down our drag. I'm going to wade out here as far as I can get before the drop-off. There's a drop-off right out here. And I don't want to get, you know, crashing waves all over my camera. If I didn't have the camera on, I might even go up to chest deep sometimes to launch it to the backside of the sandbar. But I don't think we need it. We're going to get to right about here. Shuffle your feet when you're in the shallow water like this. There's a lot of stingrays out here. You don't want to step on one of those and get spined, so slide your feet as you go. And there we go. That's a pretty solid launch. I should be back out in the zone again. Got it, got it, got it. That's something pulling some drag. What do we have? Feels maybe stingray-ish. No. Oh goodness. Don't be a ray. We're way up the beach now. I think it's gonna be a ray. It's set down now. This reel does not have much drag to it. Shark. It's a shark. I'm landing a shark on a Shakespeare tiger. Just let him play. That is a bonnet. That is a nice bonnet at that. Boom. Bonnet head. Okay guys, I don't know how much y'all saw of that last catch. It was a decent sized bonnet head shark. My battery definitely died in the middle of that whole ordeal, and my fresh battery was in the car, so you didn't get to see the release. But I did shoot a short of the release, which is available to be viewed on the page. It's a reel. And we're back at it. Now, the beach is obviously starting to fill up. It is Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna push this as long as I can. Peak fishing time is supposed to be 10. So we're gonna hang out and see what we can put together for about the next hour or so. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Fishing Control. It was definitely starting to get a little crowded out there on the beach. It is Memorial Day weekend. It was nice and calm out there this morning. And then it started to fill up. I could tell it was starting to get crazy. And then the drive off the island, I passed a solid line of cars the whole time. Some of it stopped traffic. So honestly, if you were thinking about going out to Tybee for a holiday weekend, man, I wouldn't do it unless you just like being in thick crowd. If you're going out to party, it might be the perfect place. But if you're like me, trying to go find somewhere to fish, that many people definitely makes it difficult. I mean, more power to them. Everybody have a good time. I hope everybody has a great, safe time for this holiday weekend. Grill up some food, catch some fish, have fun with some folks. Thanks for watching this episode of Fishing Control, and we'll see you on the next trip.